just calm down, get control of yourself. I know you're excited that there is another ultra budget Class D amplifier on the market. How many more of these things can we handle as a community? Good God. Don't they all use the same amp chip, basically? I wonder if they all come from the same factory or if they're actually different companies. Okay. I know, all joking aside, I'm just having a little fun there. But really, though, if you guys have not noticed, or if you follow along in any of this like budget, entry level kind of mid-fi space of these cheap DACs, amplifiers, small little integrateds, small little preamps. We've got all of this stuff. I'm sure you've heard of the Fozzy Audio, the IEMA, the RSL, the DOUK Audio, all of these ultra budget things. And we've had in-house basically all of the Fozzy V3s, the IEMAs, the Pros. We've had the Fozzy MC101, the new ZA3s that are monoblocked. We've just had a plethora of these budget Class D amplifiers in. And in the price point, most of them have been really good. The V3 got a lot of rave, some of the other ones. DOUK Audio reached out to us probably about a month or so ago and let us know that they were coming out with a new H7 Pro, basically an integrated amplifier. And if you watch some of the reviews of the original one, just the H7, it reviewed pretty well and did pretty good. One of the cool things for us with the H7 Pro, and you know what? Let's just take a look at it real quick and get kind of a vibe on this thing, and then we'll kind of talk about it for a couple minutes. All right, so that was kind of an overview of the H7 Pro. It's got a lot of the features that the ZA3 does. We've got the balanced outputs and the single-ended. It's got the controls on the front, the nice VU meters. Sound-wise, though, this one was really interesting. So all of the others, the V3s, the Fozzys, the IEMAs, they all packed a pretty good punch. For the money, I could not complain. But when I kind of stepped outside of that budget space and said, okay, well, let's see how these things actually compare to, things that are, twice the price or something like that. It was quickly kind of apparent that they fall apart pretty easily. So most of them on a more revealing speaker, you turn these things up, they start to get really sibilant and harsh on the top end. They're very forward and kind of have a graininess to them if you kind of try to put them into any type of like actual hi-fi system. We were running $5,000 DACs to these things. We were pushing them out to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 speakers, ultra resolving stuff, just to see kind of what the real limitations were with some of these things. And all of the other stuff fell apart pretty quickly, kind of like I was talking about. Now, if you have budget speakers, budget components, it's not a super ultra revealing system, you're probably not going to notice those kind of negative spaces. Or those negative attributes, because they really won't rear their head, if you will. And so we've done reviews on them. We've promoted them, at the price point, they're good. I always send them over to Kelly, and that's kind of like my big gauge. Like, if Kelly likes this, then I know we've got something that's, kind of special. And all of the other ones, he was kind of like, it's okay. But God, they just get glaring and shrill and sibilant, and they kind of get diffused and fuzzy, and it just gets bad quick. But the Duke Audio H7 Pro was the first one that Kelly actually said, "Whoa, okay, there's something going on here." And if you saw Nemo's review of the RSL, we were actually kind of hoping that that would be the one that, like, finally we found one. And we got that RSL in. Kelly and I both reviewed it, and it was okay. It was maybe a smidge better than some of the others, or just didn't get quite as bad quite as fast. But it was still, just didn't grab the soul. The minute I got the H7 in and I plugged it in, I did about a 30-hour break-in, whether you believe it or not, believe in break-in or not. I try to do a little something just for those who do. So we just let it run for about 30 hours. I dropped it into my main system. Again, ultra resolving system. I mean, pushing some good resolution. So we're going to do the same test. We're going to see what this H7 is about. And we start cranking it up. And I was like, wow, okay. That digital glare really isn't there. That graininess really doesn't poke out. That harshness that starts to just make you kind of like, oh, okay, there it is. That veil and that diffused sound that kind of goes over when you start pushing this cheap Class D really didn't come out as much. And I thought, okay, this might be the one that Kelly likes. This might be the one that gets him to change his mind. Because before, if you were in our Discord, he was like, I will not recommend these Class D amplifiers to any of our community. I will not promote them. I will not push them out. And within about a half hour of him having the Duke Audio H7 Pro, he started posting in the Discord about, okay, I digress. This is actually a good piece. And he actually left it in his main system for probably a week or two. And this guy's got like $4,000 GAN-fed amps and stuff like that. And he made it clear that it wasn't close to that. But it was the first Class D budget amplifier that both Kelly and I thought, you know what? I would tell my community to buy this. I would say that if you are moving into, kind of pushing up into that mid-fi, you want to kind of get into separates, but, you don't want to spend a ton of money. You want a nice little integrated piece that has some versatility. This would probably be something that I would say, yeah, go spend the $130 on this, because it doesn't bring any of the negatives to the table that some of the other stuff does. And it's got some cool little VU meters. It looks kind of cool. It's got a cool little form factor. But I would highly recommend, if you are going to buy any of these budget amplifiers, cops are coming after me. I can hear the sirens outside. If you are going to look at any of these budget amplifiers, I would highly recommend, as would Kelly, when Kelly and I agree on something, that starts to just kind of identify something that, there might be something here. I mean, dude, the V3 was good. The V3 was okay. It was nothing spectacular. It was nothing off the charts. It was good at its price point. I mean, it was a good little amplifier. It was maybe a little bit better than some of the other ones. But the H7 is kind of the first one I've heard in this space that's like, okay, that's what we need to be doing there. That might even jump up a little bit and kick some butt. But still, it's the same, guys. I mean, this H7 Pro, it's $120 Class D amplifier. It's running the same amp chip as all of the other ones. They all run the same chip. The Texas Instruments, the TI, little different componentry, little different network, little different integrations, little different look. But if you do not have a resolving system, you're probably not gonna hear a ton of difference. So if you already have kind of the V3, if you're already rocking some of these other Duke H7s, if you're running something in that kind of price point, it's probably gonna be kind of a lateral move for you. If you need the integration and you need the balance and you need all, whatever any of them have to offer, I would buy them kind of more on that aspect of things than I would sound quality. If you've got some decent speakers and you've got some different, decent stuff and you want the one that actually has the best sound quality and performance, I would say the H7. One thing that Kelly noticed, I didn't notice it as much. I mean, it wasn't as prevalent in my system but I really don't use subwoofers. So I'm cool with 40 hertz and up. Kelly is sub-centric. He likes a good 3 to 5 dB bass shelf in his room. He runs a single super cube in the middle, and he's always got that bass nice and blended in. He noticed that the bass was just slightly not as good as, say, the ZA3 or the V3. You know, some of the other ones maybe had a little tighter, more accurate and precise bass. He said the bass was just a little bit off on this one, but nothing you know, out of the ordinary. When I got it in my system, I didn't notice. I wasn't like, the bass wasn't like, ooh, that bass is fantastic. But I also wasn't like, oh man, that bass is bad. You know, I just thought it was kind of average for everything. But so Kelly noticed that little nuance there, so I wanted to share that with you. But yeah, other than that, we both really liked it. Kelly really liked it. And if you want to kind of hear more about it, Kelly's perspective and deep dive, jump in the Discord, hang out with us. And I hope you guys enjoyed that review. I'm James, your ABX audiophile. We will see you on the next one.